It's amazing how that stuff stays with you. Once you learn something, it never leaves you. Just stays locked up tight right in the old loo.
Does, huh?
How well do you know the Andy Griffith Show? Well, in this video, I'm going to be going over the trivia questions that our viewers found the most difficult to answer.
Let me do your real hard one. 25 and 25. 50.
I'm Cort Howell, producer of Mayberry Man, and where these trivia questions come from is that we actually post trivia questions every week right here on our YouTube channel. They may show up in your feed, or you can find them on the Posts tab on the Mayberry Man channel page. On mobile, you may have to scroll to the right to find that Post tab. Now, if you haven't seen our trivia questions and haven't done those before, you may want to pause this video because I will be revealing the answers here. Now, we literally have thousands of people answering our trivia questions every week, and for the most part, you guys do great. But there are some questions where, frankly, the class as a whole is failing.
Do any of you have any interest in learning about it? If you have, you just haven't shown it.
That's right. Collectively, the class as a whole has scored less than 50% on the questions I'm going to share with you.
Shazam!
And there's really no way you would know that. The trivia quizzes on YouTube, they really only show you if you got the question correct or incorrect. So we'll go and show you the actual percentages of what other people were answering, and you can see how you compare.
Actually, I can't think of anybody who knows less about this than he does.
Hi.
These are in no particular order, except I am going to save some of the hardest ones to the very end. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start first with one of the easier ones. Who claimed to be Opie Taylor Sr.? This comes from A Deal is a Deal, where Opie and his pals try to sell Miracle Salve, and Barney ropes Gomer into his plan to get the Miracle Salve company to take back the merchandise. Barney claims to be Dr. Pendyke.
UT Pendyke, DVM. Practice limited to small animals, dogs, cats, birds of all kinds, and small sheep.
And it's Gomer, who is Opie Taylor Sr.
Howdy. My name is Opie Taylor Sr., and this is Dr. Pendyke.
How do you do?
Next, in Guest of Honor, who does Sheriff Taylor deputize in preparation for Founders Day? Now, this one's a little tricky because all of the options have been deputized at one time or another, but this question is specific to Guest of Honor. Most fans probably don't even know who Art and Sam are, and just 26% of you got this correct. And the answer, of course, is Art, Sam, and Floyd.
Now, the minute it looks like there's gonna be trouble, we got to nip it! Nip it in the bud! Nip it! Let's hear it! Nip it!
Next up, in Opie's charity, how much money does Opie donate to the charity that kind of upsets Andy? I was surprised by this one because it's pretty emphatically stated a few times in the episode, but only 36% of you got this correct. And of course, it's 3 cents.
3 cents.
3 cents?
Yes. The next lowest was 5 cents, given by Roy Pruitt.
Well, he must be kind of tight like Opie.
Well, not exactly. He's one of the underprivileged children.
Next, how many episodes of The Andy Griffith Show did Jack Nicholson appear in? Now, I'm sure that's news to many people who never even knew he was in the show, but in fact, Jack Nicholson did appear in Mayberry, not once, but twice, and those were in the color episodes, and so I did a video about that, not just Jack Nicholson, but a lot of celebrities who appeared in Mayberry, and I will link to that in the video description below, and you can check that one out. And next, what musical instrument does Barney play in Three's a Crowd? Now, Barney plays several instruments, and some of them are listed here. He never played the guitar, but he did play these other instruments. So you have to know this episode where Andy was dating Nurse Mary Simpson, and Barney keeps interfering. And in this particular episode, and 34% of you got it correct, he played the bongo drum. Now, in The Guitar Player from season 1, what's the name of the band leader that Andy throws in jail? Now, this is a little bit of a trick question because the first couple times this band comes through Mayberry, the band leader has one name, and then later he has a different name, and I think a different actor played this character every time. So it's a little challenging to maybe keep them all straight, but in this case, 49% of you got it correct. Pretty impressive, and it's Bobby Fleet.
Bobby Fleet and his band with a beat.
Now, according to Opie, who heard this from Nat Pike, how much is a penny hit by lightning worth? This one, you guys did really poorly on. Only 20% got this correct. This is from season 1's Quiet Sam, where a storm rolls through Mayberry. And again, just 20% of you, 2 out of 10 people got this correct. And the answer is 6 cents.
A penny hit by lightning's worth 6 cents.
Who told you that?
Nat Pike told me.
Oh, Nat Pike is always telling Opie the craziest things.
Next, in Sheriff Barney, who lives at 411 Elm Street? This was when Barney was trying to get Otis to talk in his sleep and reveal the location of a still.
Otis Campbell.
Otis plays along and tells him the still is located at 411 Elm Street, and Barney gets excited that he got his answer, and then Andy reminds him who exactly lives at 411 Elm Street. 46% of you got this correct, and Barney lives at 411 Elm Street.
411 Elm Street? That's where I live!
Now, in the famous Christmas Story episode, what did Ben Weaver give to Opie when he handed out gifts at the end of the show? Now, you really have to pay attention, and 45% of you did get this correct, but you have to kind of pay attention to what item he gave to which person, because he's giving gifts to everybody. And the correct answer is roller skates. Next, who was the secretary of the Philomathian Literary Society in high school? Now, this is from the class reunion episode where Andy and Barney are thumbing through the old yearbook. And Andy explains what this organization is. It's a group that got together and cut out current events and pasted them in a book. And Barney wishes he had been part of that club, but then Andy reminds him that he was blackballed by Jack Egbert.
Did somebody blackball me or something?
Jack Egbert didn't like you. Don't you remember I told you about it and you cried?
Oh, yeah. Jack Egbert.
Again, 44% of you got that correct, so not bad. In Citizen's Arrest, who writes Barney a ticket? Now, this is a little tricky as well. Gomer is the one that makes the citizen's arrest, right? But it's actually Barney who has to write himself a ticket, and 42% of you got that correct.
I'll write it out. You're darn right, I'll write it out. I'll write it out, all right. You make a fool out of me because some boob. He's calling me names again, Andy. He said he wants to.
Gomer, please stay out of this.
In The Darlings Are Coming, and this is the first episode where my father, Cort Howell, arrived in Mayberry as Dud Wash. My father was an actor, in case you're new around here, and he played Dud Wash.
Well, I'll show him a couple of things I learned in the Army in guerrilla warfare. First, you take your hair and you yank it around, and then you take your hand and yank it.
What present does Private Dudley A. Wash give to Charlene when he returns from fulfilling his country's needs? 44% of you got this correct, but all these options are things that he did have with him when he got off the bus. Now, again, you have to pay attention to the wording because which one of these was a present that he gave to Charlene? And the answer is tiger eye ring. And the other items were simply things that Charlene had given him to remember her by. But the tiger eye ring is what he brought back for her.
I brought you a present, Charlene. A tiger eye ring. Right out of Spokane, Washington.
Now, sticking with the Darlings and the other episode that my father was in, Mountain Wedding, what song did Ernest T. Bass serenade Charlene with? Now, only 40%, 4 out of 10 people got this correct, which was pretty surprising to me. But there's also a story behind one of these other choices. So obviously Dooley was a popular song by the Darlings, but the correct answer is Old Aunt Mariah, and he sings that by the lantern, playing along with his tin drum. And there's a story behind Bow-Legged Rabbit. You remember when Ernest T is done singing, he then asks Charlene if she wants to hear Eatin' Goober Peas.
Now you want to hear me sing Eatin' Goober Peas?
Well, I have a copy of the original shooting script of my father's, and in that episode, the original script says that Ernest T was supposed to say, "Want to hear Bow-Legged Rabbit or Eatin' Goober Peas?" Now, I don't even know what Bow-Legged Rabbit is, and maybe they didn't either, and they decided to delete that one from the filming. There's also about a page and a half of this script at the beginning of the show that was probably filmed but never used in the final episode, which is quite interesting. And I talked about it on a live stream a long time ago. So it's probably worth me doing a different video just dedicated to mountain wedding and what we can learn from the actual shooting script from my father's archives. Okay, what were the trick shots that Barney claimed he could do with a slingshot as a kid? Now, there's a lot of creative answers here, and 43% of you got this correct. This one, of course, comes from Opie the Birdman, where Barney brags about his slingshot skills in the courthouse. And so the correct answer, 43% of you got it correct: over the mountain, behind the barn, under the bridge, and the tail gunner. And of course, the tail gunner being the one where he ends up breaking the glass in the cabinet.
I started taking up the trick stuff, like over the mountain and behind the barn. And I had under the bridge. And of course, my best was a tail gunner, with a mirror.
In Mayberry Goes Hollywood, which of the following is not a reason Mayor Pike gives for cutting down the oak tree? So when they're getting ready to cut down the oak tree in the middle of the street, much to the movie producer's dismay, Mayor Pike rattles off a few reasons why they should cut it down. So which of these is not one of his reasons? And only 34% of you got it correct. He did say it's an eyesore. He did say it's in the way, and he said it's full of twig girdlers. So the correct answer is it's not the official state tree.
Well, because it's full of twig girdlers, and it's an eyesore. It's right in the middle of the road. It's in our way here, and besides, we want everything nice for your picture.
In Convicts at Large, which was not one of Big Maud's aliases? Of course, this is when three women, the escaped convicts, take Barney and Floyd hostage, and Big Maud is the leader. But which of these is not one of her aliases? And only 1/3 of you got this right. It's Maud Charlotte Tyler.
The leader is Big Maud Tyler, 5 feet 6 inches tall, dark hair, weight 175 pounds. Known as Big Maud Tyler, Clarice Tyler, Maud Clarice Tyler, Annabelle Tyler, and Ralph Henderson.
What was the license number of the Mayberry Squad Car? Now, if you've made it this far in the video, my guess is you probably know the answer. And all of these answers actually are license plates that appeared in the show. But the squad car was, of course, JL327. And again, 47% of you got that correct. In A Medal for Opie, what does Barney say his nickname was in his younger athletic days? Now, this is when Barney helps train Opie for the 50-yard dash, and half of you actually picked the wrong answer here, and 1/3 of you got it right. So the correct answer is not Barney the Bullet, which 50% of you thought was the correct answer. It's Barney the Rabbit, and just 33% of you chose that.
I'll coach him to run the way I did, like a rabbit. That's what they used to call me, Barney the Rabbit.
Is that right?
Yeah, Barney the Rabbit.
In the beauty contest, who was crowned Miss Mayberry? Almost half of you got this right, but coming in at 48%, Irma Bishop is the correct answer. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button. That helps more Mayberry fans discover our content. I appreciate it. All right, the next question. In Barney's uniform, when Barney writes a ticket to Fred Plummer for sweeping trash into the street outside Foley's Market, how much is the fine? Now, only 30% of you got this right, and I'm guessing it's because the correct answer feels a little bit high for Mayberry considering how low a lot of the fines were. But the correct answer for littering, the fine is $4. And just 3 out of 10 of you answered that correctly.
What's this going to cost me?
$4.
$4 for sweeping the sidewalk?
In Mr. McBeebe, how many extra hands does Opie say Mr. McBeebe has? Of course, Mr. McBeebe said it first, but Opie repeats it to Andy and Barney. And 42% of you got this correct, 12 extra hands.
The jingling is really from all the things hanging on his belt.
What's that?
His hands. His 12 extra hands.
He has 12 extra hands and they jingle.
In his early days, what did Floyd practice cutting hair on? This comes from Mayberry Goes Hollywood, and he actually refers to wanting to be a barber ever since he was a kid. And what he did is he practiced on cats. And 41% of you got that correct.
I always did want to be a barber. Even when I was a little tiny kid, I used to practice on cats.
Cats?
Yeah, I'd catch them in the alley, then I'd clip them and everything.
Oh?
We had the baldest cats in the county.
Next up, what is the name of the character who lived with Andy Taylor and helped take care of Opie? Choose wisely, the question says. Now, this is really more of a spelling test, and it's a hotly debated topic, but easily settled by looking at one of the scripts from the show or the opening credits in later seasons. It's, of course, Aunt Bee, and the proper spelling of Aunt Bee, 54% of you answered B-E-A, Aunt Bee, and that is not correct. The correct answer is B-E-E. Aunt Bee is B-E-E and not the traditional B-E-A that's short for Beatrice, right? Even though her name does appear to be Beatrice, only 29% of you got that correct. In A Feud is a Feud, what are the names of the two feuding families? Now, this comes from season 1, and it's easily confused with the names we typically associate with feuding. And 46% of you actually chose the wrong answer, Hatfield and McCoy, but the correct answer is Wakefield and Carter. So only 4 out of 10 people got that correct.
Wakefield and Carter. Great jumping, gosh almighty. Now, I don't want no feuding in here.
In Keeper of the Flame, what's the name of the secret club that Opie belongs to?
I joined a club.
Well, that's fine. What club was that?
I can't tell you.
3 of these are clubs that were mentioned during the series, and the Wildcats is the correct answer. The Tomahawks, in fact, is Opie's club that Andy invites Barney to join after being rejected by the Esquire Club in the Clubmen episode. That brings us to the 2 most difficult questions based on how many people got them wrong. And this would be less than 20% answered these correctly, so less than 2 out of 10 people knew these answers. First, which of the following was not a business purportedly run by Floyd the Barber? That means 3 of these were businesses run by Floyd, and only 1 was not. And only 18% of you got this correct. Colby's tonsorial parlor sounds kind of ridiculous, which is probably why 48% selected that one. But that's actually the name of the barbershop displayed on the window in Mayberry Goes Hollywood after they spiffed up the town for the big movie. So I guess folks didn't recall that, but that is true. And so the correct answer here, the only one that was not a Floyd business, was Floyd's Clip Joint. 18% of you got that right. Of course, Floyd Lawson Enterprises and Lawson Pictures Incorporated were both mentioned in Floyd the Gay Deceiver.
Floyd Lawson, you're nothing but a liar and a cheat and a scoundrel. I hate you.
All right, in Jailbreak, who's Malloy? Hopefully you remember Fred Goss, the dry cleaner, who kept asking this question.
What? Who's Malloy?
But clearly, many of our fans confuse this with the episode with Gentleman Dan Caldwell, the sophisticated con man, and this line about the crime he committed goes by pretty fast, so you have to pay attention, because only 15% of you got this correct.
Hey, boys, who's Malloy?
The answer is he robbed the furniture factory payroll.
Well, that's one of the fellows that robbed the furniture factory payroll, is he?
No question about it. That's him, Doc Malloy.
And he's here in Mayberry.
Now, in all fairness, we did ask this question again a few months later, and you did much better. You more than doubled your score, got it up to 34%. Unfortunately, still a failing mark.
I'm sorry this happened, Opie. You could do it, you know, if you really worked.
Maybe we'll ask that again in another month or so and see if you guys do better.
More power to you.
So what do you think? Were these difficult questions? Let us know in the comments, and let us know if you aced them all. And until next time, click one of the videos on your screen for more of The Andy Griffith Show.